As COVID-19 restrictions begin to ease, seating capacities are expanding at popular Minnesota venues. The rollback will allow thousands of fans to again see live sports. Indoor seating venues with capacity above 500 can now have an additional 15% of their max capacity, with a max of 3,000 people. Now, large outdoor seated venues like Target Field get more leeway. An additional 25% of their capacity above 500, with a maximum of 10,000 people attending. Large gyms, restaurants, and bars can have more than 250 people if their regular capacity allows. An anti-mask mandate drew an overflow crowd at the North Dakota State Capitol. The bill barely passed the House and will now come under scrutiny in the Senate. Those in support say the government should not be able to mandate masks. Those opposed say it's necessary to protect the public.
Had we not been able to require masks and face coverings, we almost certainly would have had higher transmission rates and additional outbreaks and school closures.
The Senate Political Subdivisions Committee ended up recommending the bill will not be passed by the Senate. Meanwhile, Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney says masks will be encouraged in the city until more people have received the COVID vaccine. He says North Dakota will achieve herd immunity with a 70% vaccination rate. As of now, the state is only at 27%. 40% of people have received their first dose, including 45% of the population of Cass County. A vaccine option that many have been waiting for in Grand Forks is finally on its way. The one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine will be available at community clinics on April 10th and the 14th. It's approved for anyone 18 and older. We have information on how you can book a slot at valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. The Minnesota Department of Corrections says all of the state's 7,600 inmates should be fully vaccinated by next Friday. At this point, only 1/5 is fully vaccinated. The state DOC has been sued over its handling of the pandemic and whether its inmate vaccination effort violated state law. Meanwhile, fake COVID vaccination cards are now showing up on Twitter, eBay, and Shopify. Minnesota's Attorney General is one of 45 others urging the website CEOs to monitor and remove this content. Let's get a check now of our Good Friday forecast. Still quite windy out there, but Lisa, it sounds like we're going to have a pretty nice Easter weekend ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we are looking at that. We are going to see some conditions that are starting off this morning with some quiet weather as far as the sky cover is concerned and precipitation. Of course, we definitely need that rain. And we do have some coming up in the extended planner, but heading into the holiday weekend, keeping things dry. You can see a pretty sunrise with some clouds passing through here this morning. We are looking at conditions that are going to be once again very dry. We have some strong winds yet again here for this Friday, and so a red flag warning takes effect later this afternoon for the Devil's Lake Basin, parts of the James River Valley, back into the Upper Cheyenne as well, and that stretches westward from there. We're talking the threat for more critical weather or critical fire weather conditions here yet again today in those spots. And if you have any hot spots here from recent fires this week, you'll want to check them again today, even if you're not included in that, because the winds are strong throughout the valley. We're talking gusts out of the south to 38 miles per hour in Fargo right now, 30 in Grand Forks, 30 in Jamestown, 23 in Detroit Lakes. Your temperatures, we're in the 30s to the maybe even 40-degree temperature in Sisseton there, 43 right now. It's 37 in Fargo and in Grand Forks, so much milder than some of our recent mornings. They're not necessarily warm yet to start off, one of those days where it'll be cool in the morning and much milder into the afternoon. We've got some of those clouds streaming through here this morning, a quiet start to the day again as far as precipitation is concerned, but that wind will be with us all day long. It does start to ease up toward late afternoon, and eventually tonight it really gives us a break after that. But you can see a nice warm afternoon, upper 60s to some low 70s for a lot of us today. The sun will be up at 7:04 this morning, so just a few minutes here. Winds, though, that's going to be the big issue for your Good Friday. We're talking windy conditions all day long with those gusts potentially into the 20s and 30s. A quick look at your Easter planner for Easter Day. For your services in the morning, you'll want the coat, but it looks pretty nice. Temperatures 40s to some low 50s degrees in the morning, and then by the afternoon on Easter Day, we are looking at some beautiful weather for any Easter egg hunts. We're talking temperatures in the low to some mid 70s coming up for Sunday. Not too bad at all. And then next week, of course, we've been talking about that chance for rain. That'll be great to see if we can keep it going in our forecast. A lot can change over the next several days.
Yeah, we are hoping for that moisture for sure. Thank you, Lisa. New this morning, a train derailed in a tunnel in eastern Taiwan today after apparently hitting a truck. Now, the train came off the rails in that tunnel, causing some carriages to hit the wall. The Transport Ministry has now put the death toll up to 51. More than 72 people were injured. The train was carrying around 350 people. Rescue efforts are still underway. Between 80 to 100 people have been evacuated from the first 4 carriages of that train, while carriages 5 through 8 have significant damage, and authorities say it's tough to get into those to rescue people. The accident happened at the start of a long weekend for the traditional tomb sweeping day. Here at home, Easter is just days away now, and many churches are still trying to decide how to hold their Easter services. While most are allowing people back in, many are making plans for those who don't yet feel comfortable worshiping inside. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live in studio this morning with the latest. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Lisa. Lutheran Church of the Cross is offering 3 different options for services. And those are inside their sanctuary, outside the church lawn, or you can watch it broadcasted online. Now, last year, they were only able to host their services online. Now, the church will provide 3 indoor morning services. That's going to be at 6:30, 8, and 9:30 a.m. Church will be in the sanctuary, but seating is reduced and masks are required. This year, they had to do reservations, which filled up fast because of their high demand. The outdoor rock and Easter worship will be in the church lawn at 3 in the afternoon. People can social distance as much as they want while listening to contemporary music, the worship band, and the children's message. This provides a contactless and touch-free option, and the pastors are happy that the people are just coming back to in-person services again.
Really excited to see people who maybe haven't been to church since the pandemic started, and Easter for many people is such an important time that they don't want to miss it.
Now, communion will be provided with pre-filled cups with a seal on top, and if you can't make the in-person service, the church will provide it online. Head to valleynewslive.com for the full details.
And just a good reminder to check ahead, make sure you know what your individual church is doing for this weekend, because a lot of churches are very different with their plans. Thank you, Brian. Governor Doug Burgum has now declared a statewide wildfire emergency in North Dakota. The National Guard deployed 2 helicopters to help fight a wildfire that's prompted the evacuation of the city of Medora. Governor Burgum placed the Guard on standby to help if more resources were needed to respond to that growing number of wildfires in the state due to our worsening drought conditions. Police say they have now identified 3 people of interest in an arson case at the former Mid-America Steel building in downtown Fargo. The fire broke out around 7:30 on the night of March 22nd. Crews stayed out there all night into the next morning, didn't leave until noon, trying to put out that fire and also investigating the cause. Police say the 3 people are under the age of 18, so their names will not be released. Official charges have not yet been filed. The ox cart fire near Mentor, Minnesota is about 90% contained. This is video from earlier in the week when the fire was still raging. It burned up to 15,000 acres. The Minnesota State Patrol says this video is a reminder of just how quickly visibility can change during the wildfire season. A child was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries after an accident on the farm. It happened Tuesday afternoon in Wing River Township, which is just northeast of Wadena. The caller said the child was caught in that equipment, but they did manage to get the child out and taken to the hospital. Deputies say that the child got stuck in a PTO shaft while mixing feed. The child has serious injuries but is expected to survive. Fargo police say they are now up to 5 cases of men and women who say their drinks were drugged at various downtown Fargo bars. It's a story Valley News Live first brought to you nearly a month ago, and we are the only news outlet still covering this story as the number of cases are adding up. So far, Fargo police say there are no patterns to these alleged druggings, saying there are no specific race, age, or bars that seem to be targeted.
Confirm that your drink is being served directly by the bartender or the server. Don't allow people you don't know or trust to order drinks and deliver them to you. Watch your drink at all times. Never leave your drink unattended.
Fargo police urge caution not only for those drinking alcohol, but for those staying sober as well, saying the drugs can be slipped into any drink within seconds, and they're often odorless and tasteless. Check this out. A robot armed with virus-killing ultraviolet light is now being tested on Swiss airplanes. It's yet another idea aimed at restoring passenger confidence and hoping to spare the travel industry more pandemic pain. One robot can disinfect a single-aisle plane in just 13 minutes start to finish, though, as you can imagine, larger planes will take a little bit longer. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: when it comes to our morning routine, 13% of us do this. The answer: lay out clothes the night before. And we did not specify, is this laying out the clothes for your children, your husband, yourself? I do all of the above. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. The Today Show and the CVS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now on the Fargo CW.